don't give the Speaker public advice about how to handle things. A CR is simply unacceptable for a year. It's devastating, particularly for defense, and we've got all of these wars going on.
This supplemental aid bill for Ukraine and Israel is on ice. Progressives demand conditions on aid to Israel to reduce civilian deaths in Gaza. Meantime, Republicans insist on attaching a border security package.
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. I hope you're all enjoying your Christmas holiday and Merry Christmas to you all. I want to talk to us about looking forward to 2024. So the past year has been a crazy year. There's been, wars. Continued war in Ukraine. There's the started war in October 7th that happened in Israel, and then there's the overall disaster that's currently going on at the border. And this is all coming to a head as soon as we get back in January of 2024. So Congress in the past year have passed two stopgap bills, kind of pushing and kicking the can down the road. And since that time, things have completely deteriorated between the two sides. The border issue has been going and just continue to escalate on a daily basis almost. Started off with a few thousand, and now it's gotten all the way up to 12,000 plus per day. Illegal immigrants are crossing the border. So right now, Congress is coming back to that January 19th date of the initial stopgap bill that has to be funded in order for continued workers to receive their pay and the government overall to receive their pay. And the likelihood is that both sides are so far apart that it's not anywhere close. I spoke about it earlier in 2023, saying that we could see the longest government shutdown that we've seen. And there's really nothing that shows right now that says anything differently. We've all seen how things have happened in the cities like Chicago, New York, Denver, and things like this, how they're receiving migrants on a daily basis. Denver received 16 buses yesterday of migrants, and things are just getting out of hand very quickly with the constant flow of people. And this is something that is on Republicans' mind, and people of all walks of life are starting to speak about it more and more. The Biden administration is suffering their lowest approval rating of any president in history. And we're still looking to see exactly how it's going to turn out. I'm going to play a video. We'll watch a little bit of this. If it's your first time joining, please like, share, and subscribe, and then we'll go ahead and play this and come right back.
2024 will start much like 2023 ended in Congress with more funding fights. The biggest issue facing both chambers will be another threat of a government shutdown. Just last month, Congress passed one of those stopgap bills to prevent a shutdown. That measure created two new funding deadlines. Some government agencies will run out of money as soon as January 19th, others on February 2nd, unless lawmakers pass a new full-year spending bill. It won't be easy. Ultra-conservatives in the House want to use the shutdown as a way to get more spending cuts from the Biden administration. Congress will also take up the effort to pass more funding for Israel and Ukraine, which has been tied to a fight over new immigration and border security measures here at home.
Yeah, guys. So that border security thing is a pretty serious one right now. I have a picture up right now showing what some of the lines and some of the caravans look like. I'm of the opinion, honestly, that this could be 7 million, 8 million, 10 million people that cross the border. It is so outrageous right now what is going on. And, at this point right now, think about it, right? President Biden has met 3 times with Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, in terms of getting aid. They have a appropriations bill, supplemental bill, $7 billion that they're trying to push through. 60 billion that goes to Ukraine, and then I forget, I think like 20 billion or something more like that. It goes to Israel, and they're trying to put down about 14 billion. So their continued stance, Chuck Schumer, President Biden, their continued stance is that we want to protect our nation by going out and protecting somewhere, in near Russia or in the Middle East. But right here, right now, you have millions of people who are crossing the border that you have no idea who they are. Have the Taliban, have Afghanistan, have the people who are known terrorists. Have they crossed the border? Why wouldn't they cross the border? They fly into Colombia, they walk up, and boom. Here in America, it's pretty easy for you to get your hands on weapons once you're in the country. And it's a pretty jaw-dropping overall situation. that the mayor of New York City has not been able to garner a meeting with the president, even though this is going on. There's nothing more than neglect that can be stated for this. Like, this is like, do you not have a television? This has become the biggest story around the country over the last 2 or 3 weeks now. Everyone is realizing the black vote has been mostly held down by the Democratic Party for years, and now they're very much upset in both Chicago, New York City, and other places, because there's so much money that's being given over to those who are crossing the border illegally, and people are wondering what is going on right now. Right now, Joe Biden is facing himself. The economy's kind of bad right now. He's looking like it could possibly be a one-term president, and who knows exactly what it's going to happen right now. Many people who are here, it is difficult to see how this can go on. If if Donald Trump seems to be the only person who's interested in talking about this issue, and if he is for some reason not elected, what stops this for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? For those of you guys who are employees, sit back and consider. If you're sitting down and there's additional 10 million people that are working, these entry level jobs that pay $25 an hour, $30 an hour, why would your employer continue to pay you $30, $35 an hour when they could pay someone else $15 an hour? So the whole issue right now with the GM and the Ford, their whole strike that just happened recently, there's going to be some issues. There's definitely going to be some issues as you have more people coming in, and as soon as many of these people are able to get some kind of documentation, these companies are going to be hiring them for half the price of what many of Americans are looking to have. Inflation has continued to eat into the pockets of many people. The cost of housing, again, in 2019, if you can buy a home for $250,000 for the median price home across the country, right now that median price is close to $420,000. So that's almost a double, increase in the cost of a home. And during that same time, many incomes have not changed. And in the same way, there are many people who have shot themselves in the foot as well. There are many who were looking and thought about buying houses in 2019 and 2020, and they kind of skipped it, thinking that they had another chance, and things have changed drastically since that time happened. We're in an interesting time right now, and people are wondering where it is that they're going to be able to find some kind of break, some kind of breather. Many people are hoping for a housing crash because things have gotten out of control. America right now is just in a rough spot. And those who are outside, those who are watching, why wouldn't President Xi send people here to America? Why wouldn't the people, the Iranians and people in North Korea, why wouldn't they send people who could infiltrate America when you have the border so wide open? There's just so much going on right now in the country, and for those who are watching, they see and they understand that this is a different time for sure, and they're not exactly sure how exactly it's going to play out. But this is strange, This is strange.